So, do another calm, commentated run. So, I'm Munchakoopas, this is Hyperlight Drifter, let's get started. So I'm playing current patch any %. Immediately I'm going to hold down pretty much every button on my controller to skip a cutscene. Sit to get up. Oh hey, I skipped the cough, how nice. There's normally a little cough that plays. That is a health kit that I just picked up. The main movement mechanic is this dash. Right now I can only do dashes in like a short burst of 3, and then I have to wait a little bit before doing more. You can sometimes, like I'll do right here, trick the game into giving you 4 in a row. It seems to depend on if you cross a gap. I have a sword, which I can swing for combat. I'm going to pick up a pistol and a shotgun eventually. Pistol's right through this door. The pistol does 1 damage. It has 6 ammo, as indicated by the pink bar that will be in the top left corner when I fire. I regenerate ammo by hitting things with my sword. Hitting objects, like those boxes there, will regenerate ammo, but hitting enemies gives you a lot more at once. And as you just saw, I can swing my sword immediately after firing to deal 2 damage in quick succession. So that will be my main form of combat for quite some time. Not much else to talk about in this prologue until we get to the next screen, so I guess I'll set that up. I'm going to attempt to do a skip, which will skip this prologue cutscene. If not, no big deal, it's not a run ender. It's just a little bit helpful. Cool, I got it. So that skips the prologue, saves a few seconds. Need to remember where to go over here. I want to pick up that bit. And then this will teleport me back to town much earlier than intended. Now the downside to this is I'm actually locked out of my house. Because there's a barrier that normally comes down after you activate the teleport pad outside it. So instead what I need to do is I need to come over here and I need to get a screen transition clip. And first try. May as well activate that now. So now I have the map. Now I can proceed with the rest of the game. Do a small out of bounds for that door. I'll explain those later, since there's a lot more of them. Essentially, every time you activate any door, it eliminates collision around the character and around the door itself, which allows you to just sort of walk out of bounds. That one in particular, you just need to make sure you dash at the proper angle to not enter the house again. The gold thing I picked up is a piece of the currency of this game. I will need 12 of them in total for the 1 upgrade I will be purchasing. So each area has its own unique atmosphere. This one's kind of a mountain, snowy area. Oops. Sometimes this area is a little tricky. Sometimes the dash also kind of auto-aims or pushes you a little farther or shorter than you'd like to go. Not really a huge deal in this category since we have so much health anyway. Now I'm going to go get the first module of the game. After I activate it, I'm going to open the map, which will prevent, or I'm going to pause rather, which prevents the game from opening the map. And then I'm going to do a trick we call select buffering, which allows us to move around during nearly any cutscene in the game. Hi, Turbo. I will read your message when I get some downtime. Anyway, proceeding through the rest of the north. Oh, thank you, Turbo. I was happy to be a part of that event. So these little birds, they'll deal 2 damage with their laser attacks. They're quite deadly. Don't think I need that one. Just gonna pick that up for safety. So what I just skipped is a door that normally requires you to have 3 modules to open. Similarly to the doors, anytime an arena is started, there's a barrier that pops up. However, you can avoid having to use the arena, or complete the arena, by going out of bounds. I'm gonna heal before this next room, because this also has an arena. I'll heal in a moment when I get to a door. So we're coming up on the first boss. She will summon those squares that the previous birds summoned randomly. They will deal 2 damage each. Not that bad. Luckily there's a health kit coming up I can pick up. Now we can activate the pillar. The first one of the game. I can't select buffer this cutscene. Hello Dark Lord Dracula in chat. Hope you're having a fine day. Activate the 3rd module. Select buffering can be a bit tricky. There's a weird timing to it. And that's the last bit I will need. So we just need to get the last module and then teleport back to town. So I'm going to teleport away while I activate the module. And if I do it quickly enough, I won't trigger a horrible sound bug. If I do, I can just close the game and reopen it to cancel out that bug. Ouch. Oh my, hopefully this works. Yeah, we're fine. No sound bug. So the north is complete. We're going to go buy our upgrade, which is the chain dash, so called because it will of course allow me to use more dashes at once. It will also give me a stamina bar, which you'll see in the top left corner. It'll be a white bar. And this will allow me to, as you see, travel incredibly quickly. So sets of 2 dashes conserve stamina the best across long distances. Sets of 3 are fastest, but you can bonk after your 3rd or later dash in a chain. After 4 or more, you'll do a slide when you finish your chain, which usually isn't all that helpful. But you can still activate elevators and other devices while you're sliding. So with some creative movement, you can come up with some unique ways to get around and optimize everything you do. Luckily, I don't need to worry about any more currency. I simply need to activate the pillar in each area now and get the 4 modules. I have to do... the only reason I do the east second is because the east has a weapon I want. But we'll get to that later. And I have to do south last because it's actually locked until you complete the other areas. This is my favorite looking area. Also has my favorite music. I love the color palette. I think it's a very calming place to just kind of sit around and enjoy the ambient noise. Whoops. So now we're going to do an arena fight with some big plant monsters. Ideally, I won't be dying here, like I did in my PB. You never know. So the red door out of bounds work a little bit differently than the other ones. They still eliminate collision, however they don't respawn for about 5 or 6 seconds, so you just kind of need to count in your head. So this out of bounds skips a door that needs a key, and it also skips an arena. This room is incredibly dangerous, not so much in New Game, but in New Game Plus. Not a huge deal though, since we have so much health. And now for the second half of the keyless out of bounds, which skips the end of the arena. I haven't mentioned yet, the out of bounds also has a death timer, which will instantly kill your character after about 4 or 5 seconds. So to reset that, you can take damage, heal, or use the sit command, which is down on the D-pad on an Xbox controller. So we have 3 modules. So we can open the 3 module door. And proceed to the final area of the east. Coming up, I'm going to be doing some damage boost to cross some gaps that you normally can't cross, and also skip building some bridges. Ideally, I will also be using these damage boosts to skip the boss of this area. Grab an extra health kit just in case. 8 dashes to here, which spawns some enemies. Almost had it. Just need him to be a little bit lower. Oops. That should have made it. That one won't work. Please throw at the proper area. Okay. Well, that didn't work. So instead, I'm just going to... I'll go fight the boss of this area. No biggie. I could have done this earlier, instead of wasting that 30 seconds, but whatever. That should not have hit me, but okay. So ideally, if you stand on this spot on the left or right, he can't hit you with any attacks. So lost about a minute or so total time save from not getting frog skip. This is the shotgun. It's important because it deals 5 damage at close range. Activate the 4th module and teleport away. So now you'll really see these sets of 2 come into play to conserve my stamina across these really long rooms. If I had done sets of 3, my stamina would have run out long before I ever got here. Coming up is another screen transition clip, like I did to get the map. Ideally, I'll get this quickly. One try. Got it first try in PB. 2 tries. I just have to hold a specific angle and mash. It's really the only way to do it. There we go. Gonna get this health kit. Right here, we can actually just walk into that tree and get across the barrier. I did have a death in this room in my PB, so not a huge time loss. Otherwise, sit to reset my timer. This room is actually locked from the outside, so I'm stuck in here. But wait, I can go out of bounds again. I'm going to destroy these crystals, wait for them to start flashing, signifying they'll return, dash 3 times to bonk, line myself up with the statue's eyes, and dash straight up. I need to dash straight up so I don't get stuck in any out of bounds but somehow inbounds traps. At least that's how we refer to them. Gonna use that teleport pad to come back here later, and I'll explain why, but not right now. You can also just walk through that spot, but dashing makes it a little bit quicker. Gonna do another crystal clip here. Again, by waiting until it starts to return. Bonking on the wall, and then I can just walk out of bounds. It is possible to perform the crystal clips by dashing at the proper time just once, as they're about to respawn, but it's somewhat difficult to do. Might even be frame perfect. I don't know, honestly. Oops. If I didn't mention it earlier, you regenerate ammo by hitting things with your sword. I'm gonna try and get a little bit of shotgun ammo back before I enter the boss room, but it's not so that I can fight the boss. We will see the boss of this area, but I will be skipping him with a different variation of the crystal clip. I won't need it. Sit down. Oop. Sit down to replenish some stamina. That out of bounds works because the crystal actually pushes you into a state where you can just kind of walk into the wall after you come back in bounds. I might lose a little bit of time here since I didn't get that crystal or that screen transition clip first try. I'm not really worried about it. Didn't lose any time. Hopefully I don't sound bug. No, we're fine. Okay, so we've unlocked the south. Oops. So in the south, there's actually 4 bosses, only one of which we need to defeat. And even then, we only need to defeat it because she is in the way of our pillar. So the first thing I'm going to do after I get down this elevator, I'm going to proceed to the right, and I'm going to use some barriers to push me out of bounds to skip a door that would require me to have 1 module in order to open. Right about here. You thought I was just dashing into nothing, didn't you? Oops. Oops. Accidents happen. Not much more to discuss, really. Two more modules, and then we can go defeat the final boss. I'm actually okay with taking that damage because I do need ammo for this next part. Aw. Sit. Okay. PC is the optimal platform to run this on. The PlayStation version and Xbox version have some lag, I believe, and I think slightly longer loading times. However, all the same tricks that I just did will work on those consoles. Anyway, down towards the final boss, there's a couple coughs that I can skip if I dash over them properly, and then ideally we won't see much of the final boss's attacks because I'll be doing damage too quickly. I'm gonna mute myself until the end of the run. I'll see you on the other side. Okay, so we're done with the run as a whole. All we need to do is walk down back the way we came to the end of the game. Time will be when I lean against a pillar and you hear a piano cue. Any other action I take here besides walking will cause my character to cough and waste time. These coughs that do happen are scripted. There's, I believe, 3 of them total, and there's nothing you can do to avoid them. Also, even though I was at full health, if I could show my health bar, you'd see that I am in fact at 1 HP now, for whatever reason. I believe world record for this category is 34:28. If I hadn't gotten frog skip, this would have been a 33. Instead, this will be a 34 something. 34:06. World record. That has been my submission for current patch any percent for HDQ 2017. Thank you very much for watching.